Welcome back. So I've had some more time to spend on the drum sander, and I actually got it done now, and I'm very happy with the way this has turned out. So since the last video, I've done a lot of testing, and you guys, I did think that I was going to have a power feeder on this thing that would feed it and everything and run off the same motor. But what I found after doing that for a while is I wrecked a set of belts right quick, of course, because you can't control the feed rate of this thing. And with my other drum sander, it's got a 5 horsepower motor on it, and trying to run it with just a light duty motor, what would happen is the feeder doesn't slow down, but the drum would slow down, and then it would just wreck the sandpaper because it wasn't going fast enough. Well, now, one of the changes I made is I actually have an extra table saw motor floating around here. I got a couple of them actually. So what I did was actually used that table saw motor on this thing. I just got it running off a 110, but it is a 2 horsepower motor, and it made a huge difference. It's running at 3450, which made a difference, and it's 2 horsepower, so huge difference. So instead of having the power feeder on it, what I changed over to is this simple crank system here. So now when I want stuff to go through, I'm just going to be able to just turn this crank. I guess I'm turning it the wrong way, but just turn this simple crank, and it's very easy to turn too. What I'm finding is I can turn it with basically one finger, and then what I can do is I can listen and hear that, oh, I'm pushing a little bit too fast, so I can adjust my speed in order that I don't wreck my belt or the sandpaper on the drum. So it's actually, I like this method a lot better than even having a power feeder, because of the fact that I don't want to wreck a belt. The belts are going to be 15 bucks each to do this, so I don't want to wreck the belt. So this works very easy, and it was very, very easy to build. 2 sprockets, and I actually changed over, as you can see, to chain too. So as far as the up and down mechanism, I left it exactly the same. It's working awesome. And what I'm finding is now that I got a motor on it and I'm running it, the vibration of the motor, when I lower it, the vibration of the motor makes it settle just right. All it was a little friction in between, but the vibration of this thing now, I can move it up and down without it sticking at all. I've got my dust collector all geared up here now. I just got to plug it in when I go to run it here to show you. And then what I'm going to do, if you guys keep watching the video, then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to disassemble this thing. I'll get you some different shots, and we'll take this thing completely apart and show you exactly how I made it. So what I'll do now is just grab the camera, and I'll kind of give you a little overview of this thing, and then I'll start it up and we'll do some sanding on a board. So for those of you who are just finding this video, there's a bunch of other videos just titled Drum Sander Build, and you'll see lots of other different aspects of this too. So just go over this. So I did add this little gear that I had laying around. I just stuck it on. So this gives me something a little better to hold on to raise it up and down. And, just go to the little chain system here. So rather than doing any welding, what I did was I just sandwiched this sprocket, because it was a weld on. Rather than doing any welding, I just sandwiched it in between these 2 pulleys that I had made to try the belt system. And then just drilled a few holes and put some screws in it. So I did do some welding on the other sprockets here. They were just weld-on sprockets, and I just welded a nut, welded them to a nut, so then I could just screw them on. So, it's very simple. These are, a person could use bike chain or anything else. Just get a couple different, and as long as you have your little speed reducer, because you want something to make it a little bit slow. Turning it, trying to pull it through 1-to-1 was just a little bit hard, but doing it 2-to-1 was it makes it a lot easier. So this is just my belt guard here. You can see I'm actually using a wooden pulley too on the drum part, and then just a single belt here. This was a neat little part here I'm going to share with you. Is when I did the dust collection here. What I actually did was I actually added this board that runs right down pretty near tight to the drum, because when the drum is spinning, it's spinning upwards like that, so all the sandpaper would have a tendency to fly up. So rather than giving it a chance to blow out the back by adding this board, it kind of directs all the sawdust right up into the the dust collector, as you could see, because the dust collector is on the top. So then we'll just go around back here. You can see I did try to get them belt system working, and I had it working a few times, but what I found was, like I said, it was feeding it too fast, and then it would just wreck a set of belts. I tried it with mainly with another motor too, because with the single motor I found it was kind of jerky too when it was feeding, because of you know, just trying to run too much off of one motor. So going down to the single system is working very good. So then on this side it's very simple, just 2 sprockets and you know, to connect the 2 rollers. So rather than trying to do everything on one side, I just, you know, the feed one comes in this side and then it just kind of connects the 2 together. And I had to add this little piece here to get the chain away from the shaft. So pretty straightforward. I did have my motor on this side too for a while. You can see the black here from the belt burning when it wasn't quite tight enough. So now what I'll do is I'll start this thing up and we'll set up the camera and I'll do a little bit of sample board here that I've been sanding away on. I'll just draw a bunch of marks on it. And it'll take a couple of passes to get rid of that, but this is, you know, pushing 9 or 10 inches wide here. I'll shut everything down and we'll tear this thing down and show you exactly how I made it.